All right, to discuss this further, we're now being joined by Mark Rowland from London. He is a geo-economic and geopolitical strategist and author. Mark, thank you so much for joining me here on the broadcast. So Trump announced 10% on all UK imports, 20% on those from the European Union. UK Business Secretary said that UK will still keep pushing for a trade deal to avoid a trade war. How do you reckon UK will be dealing with the tariffs going forward?
Well, I think feelings in London are quite mixed, actually, because UK was the only big economy on the top 10 that was hit by only 10%. So I think that's a sort of, on a relative scale, that's a preferential treatment. And I think the UK is really hoping for this trade deal, which has been ongoing, under discussion, actually, for many years, since last time Trump was in office. So I think mixed feelings, absolutely. Some sort of relief that it wasn't higher than 10%. People were in Westminster were expecting possibly higher than that.
And I think, better deal. Go ahead.
Sorry?
It's a relatively better deal is what you're saying. Go ahead if you'd like to complete.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I think perhaps Trump is trying to play off the UK. If he gives the UK a deal fairly quickly, the others will have to come to the table as well. And that will put pressure on Brussels. So I think that's probably Trump's game.
Understood. Let me come to the European Union next. Well, the EU is preparing countermeasures. They've not minced their words. They're saying 20% tariffs of what is imposed on them, which it's calling a major blow to the world economy. Ursula von der Leyen not mincing any of her words either. How will this impact both EU and the US, as EU has been a major US trading partner so far? And let me also add to that, France, the latest statement that has come in, that online services will be attacked. That's a statement which has come in from France. So EU seems to be prepared to be on the front foot on this one. How do you reckon this is going to go forward?
I think nobody really knows how this is going to end up. And I think there's lots of huffing and puffing on both sides. I think both sides are actually expecting that there will be some sort of deal to come through. I think everybody knows, including Trump, that big tariff war, if it is prolonged, will be bad also for the US. And I don't think US business interests will accept that. So I think this is just part of a big game. And I think the only thing certain at the moment is that it's not going to last the way it is right now. And of course, the EU have to play their cards, so they will play up the big. US tech firms, they don't really like the sort of EU digital services tax and that kind of stuff. So that's what the EU can use as countermeasures during this negotiation phase.
Mark, what is Trump's play here from your expertise and your understanding and the trend we've seen of Trump saying something, then going back on it, saying something again, going back on it? Do you feel there is any chance of a retraction at this point? And even if there is any deal which is struck, the US comes out with some sort of a win here because they'll definitely get a better tariff than what they were getting earlier. So either way, US gets something out of it. Do you think that is what Trump is playing on, or what is the play?
Yeah, I think it is. I think one thing about him is that he actually relishes the thing. He likes it. I think he enjoyed. You can see on his body language last night that he actually enjoyed all of this. So he's the only guy who actually enjoys it. But I think his end game is really to reset. And there is some merit in some of his arguments because there are some unfair trading practices in play. And the EU, for example, has been more protectionist against the US than the other way around. And I think he's also upset about China self-designating as a what you call it, special non-designated developing nation, which gives them this special differential treatment according to WTO rules. And that means they can impose non-tariff barriers and that kind of stuff. So I think actually self-correction, there is a positive scenario out of all this if there is a conclusion fairly soon, and that a reset was long overdue. It is a bit, the trading order is a bit dated, actually.
I hear you. Mark Rowland, thank you so much for joining me here on the broadcast. Pleasure having you here. There's going to be lots more to discuss. Would love to have you on the broadcast again.
Thank you.